Speaking of retiring, I want to get into maybe the biggest news we've kind of heard over the weekend. That is that man Drew Brees.
Oh yeah,
officially retiring from football.
from playing football.
From playing football, exactly. You know, a lot of rumors. He's got some TV deals and whatnot in the works. So he'll probably be around the game for a minute. But big shout out to Drew Brees, man, absolute legend. You can't tell the story of the NFL without bringing up his name. Dude ran up some numbers there in Nolans. Obviously started his career, had a year or two there in San Diego, and then finished out the rest of that adventure in New Orleans. But yeah, just an absolute legend, man. Ran up all the numbers in the world. I'm not sure where he's at with Brady right now.
Let me hit you with them numbers right here, brother. So, I mean, you said it already, but just statistically alone, him and Brady are probably the two best to ever do it. So looking at the numbers here, finished with 80,358 passing yards. He is the only QB in NFL history to cross the 80K mark. Brady will probably beat it next season. He finished at the time of retirement, most completions ever in NFL history, 7,142. Again, Brady will probably get him next season, but at time of retirement, most ever. Brees has 5 seasons with more than 5,000 passing yards. No other QB in NFL history has more than 1 season with 5,000. So that's incredible.
Wow.
171 touchdown passes, second all time, again, behind that man Brady right now. We're talking 13 Pro Bowls, and he won that Super Bowl 44. I mean, this last year, Drew Brees' image definitely got tainted a little bit because he wasn't playing at the quality he usually does. But you said it, man. This is one of the greatest quarterbacks we have ever witnessed, ever.
Yeah, definitely changed the game a lot in the regards, just being smaller guy. I think he's only 6 foot standing flat. Never really had the craziest arm, very, very accurate, but as far as his total arm strength was never, dude's no Aaron Rodgers or Patrick Mahomes, but smart offensive guy. Obviously him and Sean Payton was an amazing 1-2 combo, and they've had some great teams over there in New Orleans, past 3-4 years. I know they had a couple mishaps happen to them in the playoffs, but they've had a couple teams in this year too. I mean, had a team to where a lot of people, including myself, thought this team could go ahead and win a Super Bowl. A lot of that is in part to Drew Brees. Obviously had himself a little bit of a decline. We definitely saw the arm start to noodle out this year, man. But yeah, big shout out to Brees and company, man. Number 9, just a All-American quarterback.
Oh, yeah. What do you rate his retirement video with the 4 kids on the couch? Daddy gets to spend more time with us. I don't know, bro. It was a little weak.
A little sappy, trying to pull out the heartstrings. But, hey, at the end of the day, they're going to retire his number. First ballot Hall of Famer.
Dude, all that
ceremony, man.
For sure. I'm super interested to see what sort of broadcasting deal he ends up signing. Was it ESPN that was reaching out to him last year? I forget who it was, but he had a deal on the table last year, but he decided he wanted to play again.
Yeah, they wanted to get him for the Monday night gig.
Yeah.
I know they've been looking to fill that for a minute. They went with
turns out Booger McFarland couldn't do it.
Yeah, no, Booger, and then the year before that, Jason Witten,
that's just we're talking scrambled egg and noggin right there.
Yeah, that's definitely tough on him. But yeah, man, big shout out to Drew Brees. Hell of a career, hell of a story. Being down and out, and obviously being kind of underdog as far as physical, attributes go and whatnot. But yeah, big shout out to Drew Brees, legend, Hall of Famer. Glad to see him finally happy and retired. Sure, he'll be around though. We'll get some Drew Brees action, somewhat. But I do want to talk about New Orleans though. Keep it on that train. His successor, I guess, this man Taysom Hill. Got himself 4 years, $140 million contract.
Oh, my God, brother. Let it rain there.
So I have my research on this contract. Adam Schefter and I've seen a couple videos of them explaining this Taysom Hill contract. So essentially he was last year coming off a 1-year deal, whatnot. Obviously him and Jameis Winston in the same boat, them kind of competing. Obviously when Drew Brees went out, Taysom Hill was getting the starts. But essentially this 4-year, $140 million that Taysom Hill just received is all voidable. Yeah. He more than likely will not see that amount of money. we're seeing these kind of deals come about to where the reason why they did this deal and put so much of this money on the back end was essentially to give themselves a big cap break. I'm not sure the amount of money he was owed. He's still owed what he's going to be owed for this year.
Yep.
But essentially, they freed themselves up about $7.5 million by spreading out the money over the next 4 years. But more than likely, after this year, like I said, the contract's voidable, so they just move off of him. They can release, trade, whatever they'd want to do with Taysom Hill. So I know a lot of people, when they initially saw that 4-year, $140 million, like, that's some Russell Wilson type money. He is not getting that much money, 100%, because I know the Saints have also expressed interest in keeping Jameis Winston around, looking at a 1-year deal, potentially something like Cam Newton just got in New England, where he was about 1 year, $14 million, but really only about $4 million with about $9 million worth of incentives and fluctuating stuff like that, which
based on honors, a
win-win for the Pats, but we'll get into that in a little bit. But going forward for the Saints, here's my thing with Taysom Hill, man. Obviously, he's a very unique player. I think he does have a legit skill set as far as somebody, a skill position guy, and obviously Sean Payton likes him enough to want to have kept him around all these years. But to me, I don't know. I'd like to see Jameis in there, man. I think Jameis is, for talent standpoint, kind of cut from the same cloth as Drew Brees. I think Jameis Winston is a very volume type passer who I think has a better arm than Drew Brees. He has twice the arm Drew Brees could ever think of having. And I think, obviously the year last year, sitting behind him and whatnot, being able to get to see some things, I would roll the dice on Jameis for a year. I think Jameis still has it. I think being in New Orleans, he's surrounded by a good team. I'm not, and this isn't anything against Taysom Hill, but I think also the reason they did this deal was because, he's not going to be a starting quarterback for another team. I just don't think he's that guy. He's, but I don't know, man. I think they should roll old Jameis.
I agree. I would like to see him do that. I mean, I want Taysom Hill to play the Taysom Hill role on that team and just be all over the place, be that gadget player, and Jameis steps in and takes that Drew Brees role. I think that's the best possible move for them. Taysom Hill is an incredible player, but I don't think he's a starting quarterback. That just is what it is. I think he's really good being that gadget guy, getting those weird plays, getting those yards, doing what he does. He's great at it. But like I said, I just don't see him getting that starting spot in the Saints or another team. And this contract was shocking, bro. You see that headline, $140 million to Taysom Hill. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah. But you're right. We're seeing this all over the league, all these interesting contracts going on because this is the weirdest cap situation the NFL has ever been in. And the Saints are one of the worst teams when it comes to cap space. They're just overloaded. So like you said, this is going to save about $7.5 million on this deal. So they just got to rework it however they can. As far as what the future looks like for Taysom Hill, dude, I have no clue. Like, for real. Like I said, I would like to see him just continue doing what he does, but being Taysom Hill, I got to feel like he wants his props. He wants his starts at this point, He got teased with it a little bit last season. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't get that starting spot on the Saints, he starts looking elsewhere.
Yeah, I'm not, I don't know. I think with enough respect, people do give him his props. I think the universal consensus is that he's a great player, unique skill set, just not I don't think he starts at quarterback for 16 games. I don't think he produces that.
I agree with you. I
really do. But I think maybe as he gets older, he maybe starts to recognize that and thinks, more or less, I just want security. The New Orleans wants me to be this gadget guy. I'm not going to maybe get the bag I wanted.
Well, also, what's the longevity of that? He's essentially playing a running back. I mean, he's taking hits, taking shots. I mean, that's a whole nother thing to consider.
Yeah. I don't know.
Me and you talk about that all the time. When you got this mobile quarterback, you want a pocket passer that you can protect and is not going to get hit. And Taysom Hill just isn't that dude.
Just not really that dude. I mean, I haven't really seen too much of him to garner.
He's my favorite off-balance thrower. His feet will be all over the place. He'll throw it downfield pretty accurately. So give him his props where he got him. But I just don't know, man. He's just such a weird player in this NFL. Like, you know.
Yeah, I think the Saints really only have this next year as a window to kind of really go for it again.
For sure. Yeah, their cap space, it's all going to crumble down real soon here.
It's all going to crumble real soon. So obviously being able to get a $7.5 million cap break is going to be great for that team. And
like
you said, that Taysom Hill contract deal probably just gets restructured, or they can just go ahead and waive them. Essentially, it's kind of low key just fake money. But
for sure. For sure.
Perfect.